Hi, I'm John Noser. I'm here at Spiel 2012. This is Board Game Geek. We're going to be taking a look at Medieval Mastery by Chaos Published Limiting, and this is Miles Ratcliffe. So take us through the game.
Well, Medieval Mastery is a game of medieval conquest in which 2 to 6 players take the roles of feudal lords of France as they try and conquer the surrounding lands.
Okay.
So you start the game with 3 knights. You start the game with 6 knights distributed evenly among your castle and any adjacent homeland tiles. Each territory has.
Do you get to choose where they start?
The map is set out randomly in a certain configuration, depending on the number of players.
Okay. But I was saying, like, I'm yellow here, so I get 3 in my castle. Can I put, like, 2 here and then 1 here?
No, it's only specific to the ability of the homelands.
Oh, okay.
So that means that you distribute, so if you had 2 homelands adjacent to your castle,
okay,
you have 2, 2, and 2.
Okay.
So you start with 6 knights, and each turn you get 3 more knights added to your castle. You can then redistribute however you wish among those territories, such as removing 2 from your castle, putting 2 more in your homeland, and then you can make your advance by moving to a new territory.
Okay, that seems pretty simple so far.
Yeah. As each territory has their own special ability and victory point value. The aim of the game is to conquer 13 victory points worth of territories. Designated, and the number of victory points each territory has is designated by numbers 1, 2, and 3 in the bottom right-hand corner of the tiles.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. They can't hear us with her speaking. Marriage, that blessed arrangement, that dweam within a dweam.
Long announcement.
What?
Long announcement.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so
I think you were talking about advancement, and each tile has a different victory point value.
yes, when you advance into a new territory, if it's not conquered by another player,
Okay.
then you conquer that territory and gain control of it.
Okay. Simple enough.
When you move into a territory which is conquered by another player, say in the next turn you have 3 more knights, redistribute, move 3 knights from there, and then make an advance.
Okay.
When you go into battle, when that battle takes place, when you move into territory occupied by another player, both players would each draw 5 cards from their deck.
Okay.
They then each play a conflict card from their hand face down, designated by, say, conflict and circle. So, in this instance, you've played a 5, I've played a 4.
Just so they can see better.
Yep. And those are added to the number of knights we each have in battle.
So you're still up by 1 there.
So you would have 9, and I would have 10.
Yep.
But those aren't the only things which have effect. For example, there's the Sceptre of Loyalty here, and the Sceptre of Rage, which I have, which all the artifacts that you have in front of you are different and dealt out randomly at the start of the game. So that you have 1 crown, 1 sceptre, and 1 orb. The sceptres here, they each provide us with an extra bonus of 1. So that would put me on 11 and you on 10.
Yep.
That means you're down, but you can also play support cards at this point.
Like that one?
Yes, any number of support cards from your hand, and I can try and play it.
Oh, we're tied.
On a tie, the defending side would win, and they would lose by a difference of 1, and the attacking side would lose by a difference of 1.
Okay.
Returning their remaining lives back to their castle.
So you're only advancing from your castle to a spot that's connected to the edge of your territory.
Yes.
Okay.
So you advance to any territory which is adjacent to one you already have control of. An exception during the game is the tile of the lake, which effectively connects all of the territories adjacent to it to one another. So if you're here, you can make an advance across the lake
Okay.
to a new territory.
Okay. So there are some other cards. We have a conflict card here that's an ambush, and then a resource card. What do those do?
This conflict card, the ambush, you roll a dice after both cards are revealed. I just rolled a 6.
So that means that's a value of 6, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
The conflict cards, which are numbered, range from 2 to 5, which is, so rolling a dice can either be a lot worse than the worst result or better than the best one.
Fair enough. And what does the resource card do?
This resource card you can use during your turn to place 2 knights into your castle.
Okay.
You also have various other resources, such as authority here, which allows you to draw 2 cards as soon as you draw it.
Okay.
As well as a tactical advance, which allows you to make a second advance in your turn.
Okay.
As well, and also a fracture, which is another resource which is used when another player's artifact ability would be applied.
Oh, okay. So does that actually destroy their artifact, or just stop the power?
It negates the ability at that point and destroys it, putting it face down. Then again, that's only temporarily though, as it will then be restored at the end of that player's next turn.
Oh, okay.
So it'll at least be gone for a whole round.
Is there any way to get more artifacts?
You are dealt 3 artifacts at the start of the game, and those are the ones which you use throughout.
Okay. Now, is there any other way to get cards? So I'm picking up 5 cards during a battle. Do I keep those in my hand?
You keep the ones which you haven't used, and then next time you go into battle, you draw back up to 5 again.
Oh, okay. So I'm not drawing 5, I'm just drawing up to 5 when a battle starts.
Yeah, you have ways of manipulating your deck, such as various artifact abilities and territory abilities, which allow you to discard your worst cards, so the 2 and 3 conflict cards.
Well, yeah.
That allows you to maximize your ability in battle by playing all the 5s and +2s.
Okay. Now, I see, obviously, if I had another support, I could actually have supported more.
Yes.
Now, would that be an advantage, even though I knew I was going to win, to add that, so you would have actually lost more knights in the battle?
Yes, I would lose more knights in the battle, so if you lose knights equal to the difference to the losing side, losing knights to the difference,
so
return the remaining knights back to their castle.
Okay, so you play until you get 13 points, you said?
Yes, 13 points. As soon as a player gains territory which puts them 13 points or higher, they immediately win the game.
Okay, so there's no end of the round stuff or anything like that. So it could end very quickly if a battle goes badly for someone and you're hoping for another turn, and all of a sudden red grabs that 3 territory and wins the game before you could win it during your turn.
Then again, the game tends to go back and forth a lot of the time. Not too much, but allows to a player doesn't get too far ahead. Someone can always come back from behind and then steal the game away.
Okay. Do you find that there's a kind of destroy the leader type of mentality, that someone gets out to a quick start and then everybody gangs up on them, and then...
Yeah, they realize, they're only 2 points away from winning. We should probably go on there. And then everyone's preoccupied going after that person. Someone else creeps in and takes...
So you really have to be aware of what's going on the board.
Yeah.
I noticed that, I'm assuming this is the 6-player board?
This is a 6-player board. The board gets smaller. You use less tiles depending on the number of players. In fact, you can even run 2 or 3 games simultaneously.
Okay.
Such as that you can run 2 3-player games, or even 3 2-player games, or a 4-player and 2-player.
And there's enough tiles for that.
Yes.
That's kind of cool that not many games have that. The other thing I was wondering is that, like, if I'm the green player and you're doing really well, is it easy for me to affect you being kind of on the other side of the board, or do you find that if you're on one side of the board, you really don't have much interaction with the other side of the board?
You still have a lot of interaction, particularly everyone's moving for the center to get the high points.
Of course.
And the lake, once you get to the center, you can go through the lake and go to the other side very easily. This is just for the 6-player setup, and for less players, it's a lot easier to get to the other players.
Cool. So you said it was a 2 to 6 player game. How long does it normally take to play?
It takes 30 to 60 minutes, depending on your familiarity with the game, as well as the number of players involved, and also your strategy. Because there are a number of strategies you can go towards. You can either be really aggressive, be defensive, and be sort of safe around what you're doing. Also depends a lot on the artifacts which you get. So if you get aggressive artifacts, which such that you get +1 when you're attacking, and whenever you win a battle, you draw up to 6 until you have 6 cards right after the battle. All the artifacts are different, so plenty of replayability.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot for showing us the game. It sounds really interesting. A lot of depth, a lot of an interesting use of dice. You're not really rolling the dice. It's more just kind of manipulating them to make sure that you know what your night count is on that land.
You can also probably see that in a common theme of our games to come, because we have a few games in development, also using the same sort of system with the dice for various different purposes, not just to represent knights on a board. We're going into different themes and ways of playing different games.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing us Medieval Mastery.